how I'd stab a taller man in the chest, and that's how it was done. Take a look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
It's down and in. Guess there's no argument. Have you ever stabbed a man? Of course not. Have you?
Let's not be stupid.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
How do you get your information about how it's done?
What do you mean? It's just common sense.
Have you ever seen a man stabbed?
No.
Let me ask you this. The boys have experienced knife fight, or even went to reform school for stabbing someone. That so?
That's right.
Take a look at this. Doesn't that seem an awkward way to handle a knife?
What are you asking me for, huh? Wait a minute. Let me see that now.
Have you seen a knife fight?
Yes, I have.
In the movies?
My backyard, my stoop, the vacant lot across the street. Swiss knives came with neighbors where I live. Funny that I hadn't thought of it before. As you try to forget those things. Anyone who's ever used a Swiss knife would have never stabbed down. Just don't handle a Swiss knife that way. Use it underhand.
So he couldn't have made the kind of wound that killed his father.
I suppose it's conceivable. Not likely. Not if he'd ever had experience with Swiss knives. We know that he had experience with Swiss knives.
I don't believe it. Neither do I. You're giving us a lot of mumbo jumbo.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
What do you think?
I'll tell you something. I'm a little sick of this whole thing already. We're getting nowhere fast. Let's break it up and go home.
Oh, before we decide to do anything more, I'd like to try to pull this thing together.
Oh, this should be
Good?
If that's all right, let it go ahead. You want me to time this too?
Let's hear him. I'm an advertiser. I'm used to the big shots, pulling things together. Why don't we chip up a few? See if they land on the green.
I want you all to look at this logically and consistently.
We have. Guilty.
The kid's smarter than the kid dumb.
What do you mean?
This is a kid who went to reform school for knife fighting. The night of the murder, bought a knife, a switch knife. It would then take a very stupid kid to go and murder a man, his father, with an instrument that everyone would associate with the kid.
I quite agree. He's dumb.
However, if he were dumb, why would he make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a knife?
I'm not sure I understand.
To murder someone must take a great emotion, a great hatred. In that moment, he would handle the knife as best he could. And a trained knife fighter would handle it the way he was trained, underhand. Someone who wasn't trained would go overhand. This kid is being very smart. Smart enough in that moment to make the kind of wound that an amateur would make. He's smart enough to wipe the fingerprints away. This is a very smart man. Probably smart enough to do the killing while an elevated train is going by to cover the noise. Now, is this kid smart or is he dumb?
Hey, wait a minute.
But now, the woman across the L tracks said she saw the murder through the L train. So if there was somebody else on the train, they may have seen the murder too.
Well, that's a possibility, but no one did that we know of.
Well, it would take a very stupid man to take that kind of a chance to commit a murder while the train was going by.
Exactly. A dumb man. A very stupid man. Probably he heard nothing. Probably didn't even hear the train coming. And whoever did murder the father did it as well as he could.
So,
The kid is dumb enough to do everything to associate himself with the switch knife murder. And one moment before the murder, he becomes smart. Smart enough to make the kind of wound that would lead us to suspect someone else. And in the same instant, he's dumb enough to do the killing with an elevated train going by. And a moment later, he's smart enough to wipe the fingerprints away. Say this kid's guilty, you have to say that he's dumb from about 8 o'clock till about midnight, At about midnight, he's smart for a second, then he's dumb for 2 seconds, then he's smart again, and then once again he becomes stupid. So stupid that he doesn't even come up with a good alibi. Is the kid smart or is the kid dumb? Say that he's guilty. You have to flip his intelligence like a pancake. There's doubt. There's doubt. There's doubt.
I haven't thought of that.
And the old man downstairs. He swore it was only 15 seconds. He insisted on 15 seconds. And we all know now that it was almost 40.
Well, does the old man lie part of the time and then tell the truth the other part of the time?
For the kid to be guilty, he has to be smart and stupid, then smart and stupid, and so on. Also, for the kid to be guilty, the old man has to lie half the time and tell the truth half the time. You can reasonably doubt.
I'm sold on reasonable doubt.
I think I am too.
I want more talk, not enough.
I want to vote.
That's another vote called for. I guess the quickest way is a show of hands, huh? So, all those voting not guilty, please raise your hands. Okay. 9. All those still voting guilty, raise your hands. 3. The vote is now 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
I don't understand you people. All these picky little points you keep bringing up, they don't mean nothing. How can you believe this kid's story? Now, you're an intelligent man. You're not going to tell me you're not. You know the facts of life. For Christ's sake, look at what we're dealing with here. You know what they're like. This guy over here, I don't know what's going on with him. Look, let's look at the facts. These people are born to lie. The way they are, no intelligent man is going to tell me otherwise. They don't know what the truth is. Well, it's true. Just look at them. They're different. They act different. They think different. For instance, they don't need any big reason to kill somebody. Well, it's true. Everybody knows that. They get drunk on wine or something cheap like that. Very big drinkers. That smart guy, look at him. What's that mean, slamming his chair? These people are drunk, and the next thing you know, somebody's lying dead in the gutter. Now, nobody's blaming them for it. It's the way they are by nature. You know what I mean? Violent. Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Now, where are you going? While you're over there cleaning out your ears, maybe you'll hear something. Now listen, these people are boozing it up and fighting all the time. And if somebody gets killed, somebody gets killed. They don't care. Family doesn't mean anything to them. They breed like animals. Fathers, mothers, that don't mean anything. Now sure, there are some good things about them. I'm not the first one to say that. I've known a few of them that are all right, but that's the exception.
Do you know you're a sick man?
Sick?
Why don't you sit down?
You old son of a bitch, who the hell are you? Oh, who the hell is he to talk to me like that? Sick? Look at him, he can barely stand up. Now look, I'm speaking my piece, and you people are going to listen.
Maybe you can just quiet down.
I will like hell quiet down. There's not one of them that's any good. Not one, do you hear that? Not one! Well, let me lay this out for you ignorant bastards. You over at the window, you're so goddamn smart. Don't you know there's a danger here? These people are multiplying. This kid, his kind, they're multiplying 5 times faster than we are. That's the statistic, 5 times. And they're wild animals. They're against us, they hate us, they want to destroy us. That's right, don't look at me like that. There's a danger here. For Christ's sake, we're living in a dangerous time. And if we don't look out, if we don't smack them down every chance we get, they're gonna own us. They're gonna breed us out of existence. You goddamn geniuses better listen to me. They're vicious, they're violent, they're ignorant, and they will cut us up. That's what they want, to cut us up. This kid here, this kid on trial, we got him. That's one at least. I say get him before his kind gets us. I don't give a goddamn about the law. Why should I? They don't. Now let me tell you.
Heard enough! Stop all this!
How about if I cave your head in for you, you smart little bastard? Now where do you get the law?
We've heard enough! Sit down! Don't open your filthy mouth again!
All right. Everyone sit down. I still believe the boy is guilty of murder. I'll tell you why. To me, the most damning piece of evidence was given by the woman across the street who claimed she actually saw the murder committed.
That's right. That's the most important testimony.
Well, let's go over her testimony. What exactly did she say?
I believe I can recount it accurately. She said she went to bed at about 11 o'clock that night. Her bed was next to the open window, and she could look out while lying down into the window across the street. She tossed and turned for over an hour, unable to sleep. Finally, at about 12:10, she turned toward the window, and as she looked out, she saw the boy stab his father. As far as I'm concerned, this is unshakable testimony.
That's what I mean. That's the whole case.
Frankly, in view of this, I don't see how you can vote for acquittal. What do you think?
Well, maybe. There's just so much evidence to sift.
What do you mean, maybe? He's absolutely right. You can throw out all the other evidence.
That was my feeling. I don't deny the validity of the points that he has made. Shall we say that on one side of the tracks, there is doubt. But what can you say about the story of the woman? She saw it.
What time is it?
10 minutes to 6. I suppose they let us go home. Finish this in the morning. I had a kid home with the lumps. Not a chance.
Can't you see the clock without your glasses?
Not clearly.
Oh.
Glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
So, what do you all do when you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to know what time it is?
I put my glasses on and look at the clock.
I just lie in bed and wait for the clock to chime. My father gave it to me. We were married, my wife and I. Over 10 years before he had a place to put it.
Do you wear your glasses to bed?
Of course not. No one wears eyeglasses to bed.
Now, the woman who testified that she saw the killing, she wore glasses. What about her?
Did she wear glasses?
Of course she did. She wore bifocals. I remember it very clearly. They look very thick.
Right, bifocals. She never took them off.
I think it's logical to say she was not wearing her glasses in bed. I don't think that she would put them on and glance casually out the window. Now, she testified that the murder took place the moment she looked out the window, and the lights went out a split second later. She couldn't have had time to put them on then. Now, she may believe, honestly, that she saw the boy murder his father, but I think all she saw was a blur.
How do you know what she saw? Maybe she's farsighted. How does he know all these things?
Is there anybody who still doesn't think there's a reasonable doubt? Anybody?
I'll always wonder, but there is reasonable doubt.
Anybody else?
No. I'm convinced. There is a reasonable doubt.
I think he's guilty.
You're alone.
11 votes not guilty. Just one guilty.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not. I have a right.
You have a right.
Well, I told you, I think the kid's guilty. What else do you want?
Your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We want to hear them again. We've got time.
Everything. Every single thing that came out in that courtroom, but I mean everything says he's guilty. Do you think I'm an idiot or something? Oh, you lousy bunch of bleeding hearts. You're not going to intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion. I can sit in this goddamn room for a year. Somebody say something. What? Why don't you take the stuff about the old man? The old man who lived there and heard everything. Or take the knife. What? Just because he found one like it? The old man saw him right there on the stairs. What's the difference how many seconds it took? What's the difference? Every single thing. The knife falling through the hole in his pocket. You can't prove he didn't get to the door. Sure you can hobble around the room all you want, but you can't prove it. Every single thing that went on has been twisted and turned into the business was glasses. How do you know she didn't have them on? The woman testified in court. What do you want? That's it. That's the whole case. The whole thing about hearing the boy yell. The phrase was, I'm going to return it. That's what he said to his own father. I don't care what kind of a man that was. That was his father. Goddamn rotten kid, I know him. What they're like. What they do to you. How they kill you every day. My God, don't you see? How come I'm the only one who sees? Geez, I can feel the knife going in.
He's not your boy. He's someone else.
Let him live.
All right. Not guilty.